just finished up another day of coaching calls, which it's actually nighttime now. And one thing came up, a couple things came up on the calls today that I wanted to share with you. Now, one of the pushbacks I get from a lot of firms when I talk to them about the billable, moving from a billable hour to a subscription model, we call it the professional services agreement inside the accountant success formula, we call it PSAs, is, clients love getting billed by the hour. They love getting billed by, they love getting their bill. That's the way they like it. They want to do it that way. And that's complete bullshit. It's complete bullshit. And clients hate it. Not only that, one of the firms that I talked to were getting reported to the Professional Institute by one of their clients because they gave them an invoice that had a separate invoice that the client wasn't ready for, 5 extra hours on it. 5 extra hours. The client goes, "What's this crap?" The client was so pissed off. And obviously, if you got a surprise bill out of nowhere, you'd be upset too. But accounting firms are always like, "Oh, that's the time it took, and they signed an agreement that said blah 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 blah." Okay, that's fine. But and if you ever got a surprise bill, it would piss you off too, right? But here's the thing that I wanted to share about this. You are actually in a conflict of interest when you do billing by the hour. You want to maximize your profitability. Your client wants to have price certainty and maximize the profitability of their firm. When you bill them by the hour and give them surprise bills, you're going to want to maximize your billable hours, and they're going to want to keep your billable hours low. You're in a conflict of interest. That's number one, okay? Now, I've talked about this multiple times over, and giving clients surprise bills pisses them off, right? That's the next point. You give them a surprise bill, they hate that. But there's a third point that I finally managed to articulate this week, and that's wild because I've been at this for 18 years now, value billing, value pricing in my own accounting firm. Sold my firm. Now I've been working with accounting firms all over North America for the last 11 years. Okay. I don't know how many millions of dollars of extra earnings we've created, but I should probably figure that out one day. But here's the thing. Here's the third thing. It's taken me 18 fucking years to figure this one out. I know the other reason why clients don't like billable hours. You're actually transferring your risk, your profitability risk, onto your client when you do a billable hour. Think about that for a second. Because I had one firm that I was working with, and one of their partners is trying to get the firm to go back to billable hours because they don't like the value pricing. And what if we put in too many hours and blah, 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 all this fear. And I couldn't figure it out. And I finally got it. He wants the security of knowing that whatever hours he puts in, he can bill his clients and he can get it back. So in other words, what you're doing is you're taking your business model, your profitability risk, and transferring it to the client. So the client's going to pay. So if you're paying your staff member $20 an hour and you're charging them out of the $120 an hour, you're making $100 profit per hour they're working, and you claim that back every time. You're putting all your profitability risk on the client by doing a billable hour model. And I think that's another subconscious reason why clients really hate that. They hate getting billed by their lawyers, and they hate getting billed by their accountants when they're not expecting the bill. Now, there's a whole nother conversation around that in terms of price anchoring. And then, most accountants bill the first year, and then the second year, they just bill what they did last year because they figured that, that's why the accountant crossroad, they did it last year, they do the bill. But anyways, let's get back to this. I think there's a subconscious transfer that the clients realize that you're actually transferring your profitability risk over to them. And they hate that. And they should, because you're responsible for the profitability of your firm. You're responsible for making sure your revenues are greater than your expenses. But when you do the billable hour, you're basically transferring that risk over to the client and saying, well, you're gonna bear all that risk because you have to pay for every hour we work on this. Therefore, that way I maintain my profitability. Anyways, interesting thought. Again, it's taken me over 18 years to finally nail that one down. That's wild. That there's a transfer of profitability risk. Anyways, that was a thought for this week. Just wanted to share that with you. And again, it all goes away when you switch over to the accountant success formula model and move to a value pricing system. You get rid of the WIP, you get rid of AR, you get rid of chasing clients, and you get rid of the fights with them. You never get reported to the Institute because they agreed to the price ahead of time. So we're done. It's all simple. Anyways, and if you're interested, I've opened up, I do a one-on-one coaching and I have an online course, but I've also opened up a new group coaching model. And so if you're interested in that, let me know, because we've started up. We've already done some group calls. It's going over awesome. People are starting to float into the owners group, which is, I'm calling the ASF Owners Club. They're loving it. And there's over 400 right now, 400 accountants that have the online course. And so as you come into the Owners Club, you get the online course included and 2 group coaching calls a month. If you're interested, let me know, reach out. But there you go. Let me close it again, as I always do. I'm Eric Swalback, and reminding you that when you take back control of your business model, you can take back control of your life. Stay tuned for more success tips to come.